Hello, everybody. Alrighty. Let's let everybody know that I am live. Okay. I've got let people know that the stream is live. Okay. Alrighty. Alright. Hello, everybody. So yeah, I know I said my next stream was going to be Friday, but I guess a little bit of story time. If you look on my schedule that I have posted on Twitter, I say that Tuesday nights I play Lancer, but my Lancer game has moved to every other Tuesday. And I forgot that last week Tuesday I played, which meant that this week Tuesday I had off. And if I thought about it, I would have announced that I had a stream tonight. Because if I'm just going to be sitting down here twiddling around with stuff, I might as well be streaming it, making some more content, putting some more content out there. Um, so yeah, I know it's been forever since I've seen you all last. I know Silva would probably prefer if we made this an anime night, but I wanted to stream. Uh, Alrighty. Okay. Get things started. So it's interesting. Like last night, I was working on RPG Maker, and we made a lot of progress last night on RPG Maker. We're almost done with the basic frame of the game. I could have done that for tonight. I had a lot of ideas for how to finish that, and in order to really lay that out, um, but I don't want to lose momentum. Like I feel like there's this really clear path forward with the game. There's this really clear and concise path forward for the game and what to do next. Um, but I just feel like things got really murky really fast with um with my writing. And I don't really like that. I don't really like that it got murky. And I would like to get my writing back on track because I was doing really good. I was making a lot of great progress. And goodness knows I still have to get back to doing my the character creation course that I won entrance to, because I haven't done that in like 2 weeks. I just get overwhelmed, you know. Yeah. And there's always this thing that like every time I stream, it's more chances for someone to discover me. It's more not like discover me, but like more chances for new friends. There's always this infinite possibility of getting new people coming through. And that's a possibility you don't get when you don't stream. It's always a chance to make new friends. I guess I'll start talking a little bit about my ideas for the story. I sat down last night and I laid out what the sorry, just getting situated here. Everything kind of rushed because I was expecting to have a Lancer game tonight, and like I was ready for a Lancer game, and I was dabbling with some things, getting ready to play Lancer, and then I see somebody in the Lancer chats like, I thought we moved to every other. Like our game master even said, you know, Lancer game tonight, you know, hope you all ready. But like someone said like, hey, I thought we moved to every other week, and I was like, wait, we did play last week. We left off on this cliffhanger. It was hilarious. But like I am excited to get this story moving, and I do eventually want to finish this transcript. And then start editing it for a second draft. Go back through it, put the pieces together, punch up the word count. And get everything rocking and rolling. So I realized when I was sitting down and working on stuff the other day that like I hadn't really laid out exactly what the bad guys were doing. like I had this general thing that they were imposing generic capitalism problems, right? But I didn't have any specifics laid out, and without any specifics, it just becomes this kind of like generic, rah, rah, they're bad because they're bad. Rah, capitalism bad. Without actually addressing some of the key issues about what's happening in the story. And I wanted to address those key points. And I had some ideas that I definitely want to share with all of you about what about what I feel is going to be the driving factors for the story and pushing things forward. Also, we are most likely going to be ending at 10:30 tonight. We're most likely going to be ending early. Just because I's tired. Oh my gosh. So, like, last night after stream, I started writing after getting busy on, like, YouTube and watching some tutorials. And you know how it is whenever, like, you get into that hole, that social media hole, where it just starts sucking away your time in your life. Like, I get in that, and it's like a dopamine feedy loop. And because there's always a new thing to click on. And before I know it, time is just flying by. And then I'm like, do I even want to write tonight? And I'm like, well, you know, I hadn't written the night before yesterday. So I was like, do I really want to let this pile up? Because I've been doing that a lot. So I started writing, and I had some ideas, and I'm not sure if the writing is that good per se. Like, it's definitely going to be something that I have to parse through whenever I go back through and do my self-editing. But it just didn't feel like my strongest writing. And so I didn't want to stop because I got moving, and I got like 600 words out yesterday, which was nice. And then after I got my 600 words, I was like, okay, well, time to go to bed. And then when I went to go to bed, it was like it was like between 4 and 5 in the morning. And my roommate's kid was awake. And because my roommate was at work, my roommate's kid was sleeping in his spot, which is on the same air mattress that I sleep on. So I'm going to bed, and there's this child sitting up playing on her phone right next to where I'm trying to go to sleep. And so I just like covered my head with a pillow, and she wanted to talk to me a little bit, but I just like eventually went to sleep. And then there's another little kid that they watch because the kid's mother has to go to work super early, so they watch the kid from like 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then they all get on the bus together. So little kid came in around 5. That kid just passed right out as soon as he came in. He just came in, went to a corner spot on the other bed in order to take a nap, and he was just snoring up a storm, and I just could not get to sleep. And so I didn't get to sleep till like 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning. Then I got woken up at like, what was it, like 4? No, I got woken up it was like 10:30 or 11 o'clock because I had to wake up my roommate because so one of the housemates needed him to bring something to them down at the store. And then as I was starting to doze back off, I got woken up as people were coming back in the house. They're like, hey, we're gonna go to Walmart to get stuff. Do you want to come with and get food for you? Because I'm vegan, so I don't eat the same food that they eat. Um, and I wanted to go back to bed. At that moment, I was because like they had to go to Walmart anyway to pick up some medicine and stuff. And I was on the verge of just being like, nah, just get me some Impossible Nuggies and just going right back to sleep. And maybe I should have. But I was like, since I'm gonna be the one who's eating it, I should help with getting it instead of just expecting somebody else to get it for me. So I went, and then we had to catch the bus back, and then we had to get a connection because the person I went with didn't want to like have to walk a real long way to get back to the house. So we had to take a different bus back than the bus we'd taken up. And so we take this bus to the connection, and then we're waiting for the next bus, and we ended up waiting for over an hour. At least it felt like over an hour. And I just wanted to be home asleep. And then yeah, and then somebody, like, by the time we got home, it was almost time for my roommate's kid to come home from school. And I was worried that she was just going to be like wanting my attention, but I'm like, wait, she's been up since like 4 a.m. She's probably tired too. So I just laid down to take a nap, and I only conked out for like an hour or so. But the rest of the time I was just laying there trying to sleep, trying to rest. And overall, I'm just feeling beat up. I was out and about today, and now I'm just tired. I just want to curl up and go to sleep. So definitely tonight is going to be a short stream. We are definitely ending at 10:30, if not earlier. Okay. Yeah, so that was my day. A lot of running around and just being generally exhausted. And I made food. Made myself some vegan beef because everybody else was having tacos. So I made some vegan beef and vegetables. Which is funny because it's just vegetables and then more vegetables. And put all that together. Yeah. So about this, like having this thing with the every other week thing, my game master tried to make it an every week thing for Lancer, but it just did not work for people's schedules. It's really interesting. And doing every other week creates this interesting like disconnect where like every time we come into play, it kind of like feels like we haven't played in forever and we all have to remember how the game works. It's very interesting. So I've done both every week and every other week games. And like I definitely prefer every week games. But then you always want to make sure that everybody is engaged and interacting in the games. And like I saw a meme about it a while back that was talking about like it was this cartoon of this really angry guy sitting at a table, and he was like, the look on my face when my only time to game this week is taken up by that one party member RPing every interaction of a shopping trip and taking up the whole session. And that brings up a lot of like, you want to have stuff to show off every single player whenever you have a session, but it's hard. It's a hard balance. And if you don't have that setup, if you don't have that like balance setup where it's like gonna be having stuff for everybody to do, then it gets really hard really fast, because someone's always going to be dissatisfied. One of my friends had directed me to a place where like you could pay people to run games for you for D&D and other tabletop games, and they'd suggested I try signing up for it as a game master, and it was very flattering to have someone say they felt like my skills were great enough that people would be willing to pay to play at my table. And like, yeah, that was definitely flattering and exciting and really really emotional. But I'm not like imposter syndrome galore. I'm not confident that I have enough skill and just mental fortitude to run an entire session knowing that everybody there paid for me to be there, because I feel like that would be this extra weight of I need to deliver a gaming experience that's on par with what they're expecting so they get their money's worth. Then if the dice say somebody's character is going to get dropped to the floor, then it's like, ooh, am I about to drop this person who paid to be here? But that's also the nature of the game. If there's no threat of failure, then there's no joy in success. At least that's one way to look at it. That is definitely one way to look at it. I guess everybody's busy tonight. This is always the problem with Guerilla streams. Like, you never know who's going to show up. Though I have noticed that like whenever I stream, a lot of people do show up. Like, people do click through, and when I don't know if click through is the right word, but like they do click on my stream and like stop in for at least a little bit and take a look at what I'm doing. Though most of the people who come through don't say a whole lot. They'll just like look on for a little bit and then move on to something else. And it's this weird thing, because when I was on Twitch, I wasn't even getting that. I wasn't even getting people clicking through to look at my streams. But also, I have to look at the content I was making on Twitch. On Twitch, I was making Mutants and Masterminds content, but they were actual plays. And actual plays for anything outside of D&D 5e are always a hard uphill battle, especially a game like Mutants and Masterminds. And I have some really interesting feelings about Mutants and Masterminds. I feel like since I invested so much money into all the rule books, I want the game to be good. Um I want to believe that Mutants and Masterminds is a great, worthwhile system that you can run anything on. And that's led to me running some games on Mutants and Masterminds that I should have run. I should have run on other systems. Like I'm doing the exact same thing that people who are all about D&D and only D&D do, where you try to crowbar in things for one system. Except I wasn't homebrewing. I was using the official released rules. And that's a big deal. That I was using the official released rules for running this mecha game through Mutants and Masterminds. And we just kept, like, we were fighting the system at every turn. And every time I tried to add something interesting, it was just challenging. But also, I feel like there wasn't a great chemistry between the players. I think some of the players wanted different things. And you really, when you're playing any game, especially if you're doing an actual play, you want there to be great chemistry between your players. And that's also why I'm not doing actual plays anymore, just because I don't feel confident that I can deliver an entertaining enough game, or I have a group that's ready for doing that kind of an entertaining game for producing content. So that's that. Anyway, I'm already yawning and the night is so young. No, the night might be young, but I'm not. Well, I mean, I'm in my 30s, so like I'm not super old. Yeah, this is a weird feeling, honestly. I haven't been in the situation in a while where I'm just like talking without having someone to talk to. It's definitely an interesting feeling, and it's not something I generally have to deal with whenever I'm streaming on my schedule. So like and I want to do a third stream a week. I want to stream more consistently, to have more chances for people to discover my content and to get more views, more subscribers, all that stuff. But trying to make time for that extra stream in the week is just challenging. Like, it's hard enough maintaining the 2 streams per week thing. And I made a tweet about this last night, that I'm like walking this thin line, right? Where I keep wanting to say I'm straddling the line, but I don't want to be straddling the line because I don't want to be on the other side of it. Where I want to be productive enough that it becomes part of my routine, that it becomes part of what I do, part of what I'm about, and part of my normal. But I don't want to push so hard that I get burnt out. And I think I was talking about this a little bit yesterday. And it feels like that line between 2 to 3 streams a week is just really challenging in order to to walk that line. Then again, I made this stream so suddenly. I don't even know if the notification went out that I was live. I honestly don't know if the notification went out that I was live. I might have to go back to doing the @everyone's because like only one person besides me signed up for Notification Squad, and like tagging a role that only has 2 people in it where I'm one of those 2 people is kind of just pointless. Hey Autumn, how are you doing? So normally I don't stream on Tuesdays. I'm probably gonna start putting on the schedule that I'm gonna start doing every other Tuesday. But I forgot that this was an off Tuesday. So I play a tabletop game called Lancer with my friends on Tuesday. But that game recently changed to being every other week. So I have a night when I'm just not doing anything. And I thought, why not try streaming? So that's why it was the sudden Guerilla stream. All right, speaking of streaming, speaking of the writing and the streaming and all that stuff, let's start getting over to the writing and the streaming and the okay. Okay. Current total is 23 4 23 418. Okay. So before in the last writing stream, we were talking about this whatchamacallit, this rebellious organization and what they're planning to do. But we never really outlined, like we outlined a little bit about what their goals were, but we never really outlined what their demands were. But like the demands were referenced. So I was just sitting last night and I was working on this, which then led me to being like, okay, what are the actual problems that they're facing? Because I have to outline what the problems they're facing are in order to get a good grasp of what they're struggling against. I have to have something a little bit more concrete than like, grr, capitalism bad. I need to have actual concrete things and problems that they're dealing with. So I went back and reflected on each of these different rebellious organizations. And also I was looking into why they all want Hazel to be the leader, why they want to follow Hazel, because I need to have a good, clear image for that, because if not, it just feels like a plot contrivance. It just feels absurd and bizarre for them to want this random person from out of nowhere. And the solution is that they see this potential in Hazel. They see someone who is capable of learning and listening and caring about what they all have, what they all value. And that's going to come down to a lot of things in my second draft, where I'm going to have to like really flesh that out, of showing, not just telling the people that that's what they see, but showing a lot of showing at least a few scenes where Hazel is interacting with each leader, and helping them with their stuff, in which Hazel is demonstrating these qualities of being very teachable, having a sharp mind, and being just very intelligent, and also showing a lot of leadership potential that they would want to put their chips in the same basket with him. Like the Belated Revolt, it's easy because they want Hazel to become the new revolutionary, and he seems like the ideal candidate. He's the right age, positioned in the right place, so on and so forth, and they want to mold him into a leader because they want a replacement for the leader that they followed before. But everybody else needs this solid reason as to why they want Hazel to be the leader of this organization that they answer to. And yes, I will admit, some of this is plot contrivance. I'm not starting from the characters and then building to them saying, oh, you know what? They would choose Hazel as leader. I'm starting from, for story purposes, I want Hazel to be at least a leader in this organization, if not the leader of this organization. For plot reasons, I now I have to make it work, and that's the challenging thing with, like, whenever you have these ideas that you want to make work. And I could have like, Silva, one of my viewers, had suggested just letting Hazel be the getaway driver, be like telling the story about Hazel as this side character, but I didn't feel like that was compelling enough to represent humanity's fall from grace in this spectacular fashion, because I wanted to build up this kind of rivalry between Hazel and Grief. Grief Stormblood is the air pirate. And having the leader of the air pirates build this rivalry with a random pilot who doesn't have any real responsibility besides just being a pilot just didn't sit right with me. And so yeah, that's what I was struggling with. And then hold on one second. Give me 1 second. There we go. Alrighty. So that's where I'm at with that. There we go. Get that a little bit. I realized I was zooming in on like one spot. So this was based on what we talked about, because I also had to realize I wasn't thinking about how their government works and what they were going through. And let me jump over here. So we need to like lay out some more things with this big bad evil organization. And this is what I'm going with right now. This whole thing right here, where like that's how it started. Rosicrucians captured the scientific development. After they captured the Miraculum factories, they installed themselves as the new government. There is, the top 7 businesses have a seat on the ruling council. Civil Oversight Committee is made up of 75 members from all across the supercontinent. This. Based on recommend. Civil Oversight Committee is chosen. Civil Oversight Committee members. Informal process. Reach reason in an informal process. So this government is also something to be worth noting, that the ones in this government who actually have the power are like this ruling body of 7 business leaders. But then it's important to know that they're essentially like a monarchy. Like there are these ruling nobles. And ooh. But then you have to outline what is the role of government in this society. And the role of government in this society is the production of miraculum, the production of genetically modified seeds for all the supplies everyone needs. And and maintaining roads, airways, education, and public spaces. Providing for education. Okay. So I've rattled on a bunch about my story. Autumn, what I don't know if you're still there. Uh Anything coming up with your story that you're outlining for National Novel Writers Month? Have you gotten ahead more uh on your novel outline? So there's limited public transportation. Okay. Okay. Hmm. So this is what highlights this part right here that I just wrote is what highlights a key part of this, a key thing is that it is cheaper to buy the miraculum and the seeds and grow the products yourselves than to buy the manufactured products from to buy manufactured substitutes from the businesses. And that's how the businesses turn a profit, is because it's just cheaper. But the businesses, this is one thing I need to outline. Hey Nabaru, how are you doing? Sorry, I was busy writing. I didn't see you there. Did you get a notification that I went live? I'm curious if it sent out notifications. I know I made the stream really late. No, I meant YouTube notifications. Did you get a YouTube notification? Because it's supposed to send out YouTube notifications, or do you have notifications turned off for YouTube as well? Ha. Okay. Then how'd you know I was live? Did you just happen upon the Discord thing, or did Silva mention something? Because I know I told Silva I was streaming today. Even though I told Silva really late. Oh, okay. It just lets you know because you're subbed to me that I was live. Oh. Oh, well, I thank you for your diligence, Nabaru. Oh, you're working on the Chuny question quiz. How is that coming? Will your contestants be required to answer in a Chuny way? Oh my gosh. I was going through my memories of my Chuny phase with Vanguard. And I was remembering that don't laugh. Don't laugh, Nabiru. I know it's going to be really hard to not laugh. But there was a point when I was playing Vanguard that I went full Chuny. That's a good point, Nabiru. But Nabiru, when I was playing Vanguard, there was a point when I went full Chuny, absolute delusional. Looking back on it, I can just laugh. That's all I can do. Like, no, when I say I went full Chuny, I don't mean like I did ride chance. I mean there was part of me that believed half of my own delusions. When I say I went full Chuny, I mean I went full Chuny. Lol. Except this wasn't a character, it was just me. It was just me being so into Vanguard I believed in Cray. It was a phase. I blame stress. I felt an emotional attachment to my cards. Ah. No worries, you're not judging me, Nabaru. You're not judging me. Okay. So I knew this dude who was full Chuny on a level I could never touch. He believed Cray was real. He believed he could talk to Blonde Ezel. Only Chuny in a small group. This dude believed that he was the chosen avatar of Ezel. He got into internet fights with people who weren't building their Ezel decks the way he believed was right. It was a whole thing. And I think he was the one who infected me with the Chuny. I don't know if fun is the word I'd use, because he got in fights with people about it. He was also a jerk to people. He consistently accused people of cheating because they would double trigger him. And like, when you play Vanguard, you're gonna get double crit. It happens. Like, you no guard at 3, you have to be ready to get double crit. Yeah. Yeah, but I blame him because I was hanging around with him a lot at the time. So I blame him for yeah, I'd say it kind of crossed over into that like too much Nabiru. Oh, you've infected some people with some animes? You've infected people with some animes? All right. So I think I got most of this laid out here. Silva is, I don't know what Silva is. Like, I would like, he's very Rider and Sentai focused. And like, he loves Gundam Seed and he knows a lot of different Gundams, right? But outside of Gundam, I don't think he watches much mecha anime. Like, we're watching Macross right now on Anime Night. And like, he's mentioned in the past that sometimes he gets to a point where he has too much mecha anime and he needs something else. And that's just blasphemy as a mecha fanboy. I guess. I did corrupt them into some magical stuff, though. I don't remember if I corrupted them into loving Symphogear if they found it on their own. I don't know. I don't know what Silva. I don't know how Silva found Symphogear. Like, Silva mentioned that, like, this is the first time they've watched Symphogear in, like, a few years. So I don't know. I really want to find a way to get my hand on the soundtracks of Symphogear because I like to have a small library of music downloaded onto my phone, so that way if I'm in a place that doesn't have internet, I have something to listen to that won't eat up my data. Because I have a really cheap phone plan that I get in order to like not spend as much money, but I have unlimited talk and text, but I have limited data. Oh, you asked? You were the one who corrupted them with Symphogear? Okay. Well, here's the thing. If you didn't, I would've, because you didn't corrupt me with Symphogear. I was looking for Symphogear already. Symphogear straddles that line between like Mecha and Magical Girl. Which reminds me, I really need to finish. Ugh. I really need to finish Magical Knight Ray Earth. I'm partway through the second season of Magical Knight Ray Earth. And I need to finish it. Like, the first season was so good. Have you ever seen Magical Knight Ray Earth, Nabaru? So, no, no, Nabaru wasn't being yabai. We were talking about anime. Really? What is this angelic layer? Let me look it up. It is a Clamp series. Has 26 episodes. Really? That's funny. I'm reading the description now of Angelic Lair. This is literally Magical Girl Gundam Build Fighters. Uh-huh. Yeah, but I don't, at least from what I'm reading about Angelic Lair, the figures aren't alive in Angelic Lair. That is a thing in Build Fighters. I don't know if it's a thing in Build Divers. I really need to watch Build Divers. So I saw partway through season 1. I think I saw all the way through season 1 of Build Divers. I never watched Re-Rise. Like, I wanted to like Build Divers. I really did. It There were no stakes. Like, in Build Fighters, okay, that's interesting, Nabaru. In Build Fighters, right, you had this innate thing that if you were a bad pilot, if you didn't build your gunpla properly, right, it would be damaged and you would have to repair it. And the repairing it was part of the process. And in every battle, those were the stakes. Like, some of the battle logs introduced other stakes of like the system getting hacked, or like towards the end they had the whole thing about the loss of the Pavlovsky particle, and stuff. But there was always the baseline of these stakes of, if you were bad, if you failed, if you lost, your gunpla was getting damaged. Even if you won, your gunpla would be getting damaged. But those stakes don't really exist in Build Divers. Like, Build Divers, yeah, you take damage, but your gunpla's fine. Like, eh. Oh, only certain people have the skills to repair it. Ooh, that's interesting. Angelic Lair sounds like kind of like a Magical Girl mecha series. Okay. So, now that we have this laid out of how the worlds was set up, what the actual stakes are. Oh, it has a great plot. We'll have to watch it sometime. I'll put it on my list somewhere. So in the last part of the story, Hazel was being confronted with these questions of people wanting him to take up this leadership position, and he finally consulted the book, the Revolutionary's Journal, and now he's feeling motivated and inspired to do things. We'll have to put Right, I saw something like that in the wiki that apparently was originally developed in order to help people with multiple sclerosis. That was like the plot. That's what it said in the wiki. Which is interesting because I believe that was a subplot of one of the characters' character arcs in Gundam Build Fighters. In Build Fighters and Build Fighters Try, there's this character who's researching the Pavlovsky particle, and he makes talk about wanting to make some medical breakthroughs with it. I believe the suggestion was like being able to remotely control surgical implements with the Pavlovsky particle. I think it was Nils. And he was the one who ended up developing the artificial Pavlovsky particle once the original Pavlovsky particle was lost. Yeah, apparently they were apparently according to the wiki, some of the characters from Angelic Lair were also a part of Chobits, because I guess Chobits was originally planned to be a Clamp anime, but then eventually got made by a different company or something. I don't know. I don't know what the ins and outs are. That definitely sounds odd, Nabiru. Okay. There's more to life than shipping characters. Hi, Okusen. How are you doing? Yeah, the more imagination you have, the more power you have. We're doing all right. I'm doing great, honestly. I will admit the first part of the stream was a little bit rough. It was just me kind of talking to myself for a little bit. But it's nice to have people coming through. Oh my gosh. Okay. Resha Sentai Tokyuger. Weird season. Um, I only saw a little bit of it. I need to go back and watch Tokyuger because I like a lot of the themes and ideas of it. But that opening, that Tokyuger opening is so high intensity, so high energy. It makes you feel like you could fight an army. It's just like it is just like energy straight into the vein. Sylvan, you know what I'm talking about, right? Though all of you, oh really? Don't spoil it for me. I still have to go back and watch it, Silva. The Lord of Darkness Zed. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. So, also, I don't know where I'm gonna go watch it because like, it's not translated. um, but you all missed me talking about my Chuny phase, like my true Chuny phase. So I guess that's all right. If you want to see that, you have to watch the VOD where I describe when I went full Chuny. For those who don't know, Chuny is short for Chunibyo, which means essentially a small child who's extremely delusional and has fantasies of grandeur and power. Jungle Furry. I mean, they all did have animal spirits, but I'm not sure if they, like, I mean, do we? No, no, I went further than just the chanting. There was a phase of my life when I went full Chuny and I believed half of my delusions. Yeah, I was talking about it earlier with Nabiru. It was it's a part of my life that I have to like look back on and laugh. Like there was someone in my life who was a good friend of mine that was like even more into it than I was. And I think hanging around with him and interacting with him really just opened me up to that possibility. And then I just got so emotionally attached to my cards and to the game and to the story and to the lore and to the world that it all just kind of became real to me for a little while. I remember like going around my house fantasizing that I was my favorite card from my deck slashing at enemies in front of me. There's not much to it. I just describe it. No, no, it was okay. All right. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, except I like I believe those delusions a lot more than it was really healthy. Which was the one? Medio Kaiser, that was it. Yes, Naviru. Extreme Battle. Yes, it was. I was all about Nova Grappler at the time, which is funny because I'm a Dimensional Robo player. And my favorite card, my avatar, was oh, this is G Gundam is official in its own canon. It's its own timeline. Yes. Oh, I did prime so it depended on the deck. Some decks I ran 12 critical if I could. Other decks like Nova Grappler and stuff, I would run stand triggers. I would probably tech in no more than 2 to 4 draws. Most of the time I think my main split was 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal. But that was before they removed stands from the game. Oh my gosh. The arguments we get into, the card game arguments. Geez, just looking at all of this artwork. Looking at all of this Vanguard artwork makes me want to pick up Vanguard again. Like I'm kind of meh about Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I play it. It's enjoyable. It's a card game. But like Vanguard was where it was at for me. Vanguard and Buddy Fight. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, card fight area. I remember card fight area. I never played with it much because I much preferred to actually have the cards. Oh my gosh, Nabiru. Do you remember when they teased us with that announcement of like a card fight table where it was like a table that had like a not a hologram, but like it had a light projector. Yes, I remember card fight area. I think it's still around. I don't know. But do you remember when they had this whole thing where they had like a scanner that would scan the cards, and uh there was like a projector that would show the current power and would show effects, and everybody was super hyped and we're like, yo, this is about to get lit. Yeah, for Vanguard, for Cardfight Vanguard. But then they never, it never left prototyping phase. Like everyone was like so crazy about it. And then they also said they were going to have an official Cardfight online thing to have an official release, and they were giving out free promo stuff in the packs. Like they were doing so much stuff because Vanguard was just, it was this rapidly growing game. Yeah, it never went beyond beta. Cardfight Online, that's what it was. It never went beyond beta. How do I spell maintaining? Oh, okay, with 3 eyes. Okay. Do you remember how the Vanguard packs? Oh my gosh. But there was just something special, almost spiritual about having the cards. I know it's the Chuny delusions, right? But there's just something special about shuffling a deck of cards. Oh, you can't have the cards? Nowhere around you sells them? Or do you just not have anywhere to play near you? Oh. Yeah, that sounds about right. Hey, you know, maybe it'll grow into something. Maybe it'll take off. Uh, I think Cardfight Area might still be around. Is it Cardfight Arena or Cardfight Area? Now you got me questioning. Now let me Google it. You got me thinking. Well, when I just looked it up, it's called Card Fight Area. There might be two different things. I remember it being Card Fight Area. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Bro. Bruh. No way. Wait. 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 Alright, I'm just looking at a screenshot of Card Fight Area, right? The actual map you walk around in. Right? I'd know this artwork anywhere. That's not just 8-bit. That's RPG Maker. Someone made this map using RPG Maker art. Like, I could make most of this map myself. Let me... Look at this map. All of these images. All of this map here are made up of pieces from the RPG Maker tile set. I recognize pretty much everything. Some things look a slightly different, but this is like, I don't remember there being lampposts, but this is probably made in an old version of RPG Maker. Like, I could make this map. Got the dragon statue. That is so bizarre. It had to have been made. Oh, okay. Maybe it got overhauled. Yeah. It said that in the description, it said some things like ride chain effects and power up effects are automatic, but you still need to understand what's happening. Yeah, for like your effects and stuff, yeah. Yep. I never really got into it. But that just blows my mind. Yeah, it was all we had. Somebody made this. This is very much a fan-made program. Yeah, I think there was some other program somebody made a little while later. OCGTN, which lets you build multiple TCG games. But the style was very simple. I only remember using it for Magic for a while. Okay. It was supposed to have a revolutionary digital client. They were planning for Cardfight Online to be an official digital client. And then that just never left beta. It just never left beta. People were testing it. It was gonna be the next big thing. It was gonna have all kinds of automatic stuff, and then they were giving out, like, every time you bought a pack, it came with a code that you could use in Cardfight Online. Whenever Cardfight Online left beta, you could use it to get a free pack in Cardfight Online. And they were trying to do the Pokemon thing where, like, every physical pack you got you a digital pack in their online library. This is nothing but exposition. No, Master Duel does not do that I know of. Yeah, we need something like that. Hmm. Okay. I have a very, very unique relationship with Duel Masters. Or these not relationship, unique history with Duel Masters. You just keep knowing how to bring up all the rough stuff in Nabiru. So I did not play it when it first came out. My brother did, and one of my other friends did. Yeah, I know Nabiru. Later on, when I was in the middle of my, like, I was playing Vanguard, and then I started playing Buddy Fight, and I got super into Buddy Fight. I was so into Buddy Fight. And I met this friend of mine who wasn't just like good at Buddy Fight, who wasn't just a popular Buddy Fighter. He like had a partnership with Bushiroad to act as an ambassador for the Buddy Fight card game, right? For Future Card Buddy Fight. And like they'd bought him a laptop because he said his computer wasn't working. And he was making content advertising for Buddy Fight. And then because he was traveling and he was doing lots of stuff, helping with organizing and running tournaments and doing all kinds of stuff, he felt like he shouldn't have to keep making Buddy Fight content because he was doing so much. He was doing so much stuff and helping card shops run tournaments. Like every time Buddy Fight came out with a new set, they would send him a box, and he was supposed to open the box on camera. He was supposed to open the box and do pack opening videos. He did not do his previous pack opening video at the time when this all happened, and he was my friend who was really into Gunpla, and we would go to his house and build Gunpla, watch Gundam, listen to Nightcore songs, and we would paint our model kits. It was this whole thing, right? And one day while we were out and about at a hobby shop, we saw at the hobby shop they had an old box of Duel Masters. It was like half full of Duel Masters cards, right? It was like a little more than half full. It was mostly full of Duel Masters cards. And my brother and him started talking, and they were like, you gotta try Duel Masters. It's so good. It is so exciting, and it's so hard to find it, right? Because Duel Masters dropped off here in America. It didn't take off, even though it never stopped going in Japan. So he decided to just buy the whole box they had of Duel Masters packs. I think I've seen that card, Nabiru. So he buys the entire thing of Duel Masters packs. And then he's so motivated, he's so energized about it, that we actually record pack openings and upload onto his YouTube channel a video of us opening packs of Duel Masters cards. And after we did that, Bushiroad would not talk to him ever again after that. And I was like, bro, they were waiting for you to put up a pack opening for the last box they sent you, and instead you uploaded a pack opening of another card game. They're done with you. You broke your contract, bro. And I was heartbroken for him, but he's like, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It wasn't fine. It wasn't fine. But But then we built Duel Masters decks with those cards we got out of those packs. And we played Duel Masters and I learned how the game works. I don't remember much of how the game works, but it was exciting. It was interesting. We were running decks with these like janky cards we all pulled out of one box. It was hilarious. Yes. Everything it works kind of like the WoW card game. Did you ever play the World of Warcraft card game? Yeah. Well, Magic has a lot of infinite loops because Magic has set rotation for standard. So they can make broken cards without having to worry about future proofing them. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, Nabiru. No, I don't think I have, Silva. Me and Magic had a really weird relationship. I used to be really into it, and then I wasn't. Then the cards I was really attached to rotated out of standard, and I did not have the resources to play or the time or energy to play any of the extended stuff. And I tried building a new standard deck. It just didn't have the same attachment to me. Like I played throughout all of Shards of Alara and Jund. Uh, that sounds like something you would do, Silva. Set rotations are weird. Um, because on the one hand, set rotations make for smoother and much more new player friendly uh card games, because then you're dealing with a much smaller card pool, but it also means in order to keep playing you have to keep spending money. Like if you want to keep going to standard tournaments, you have to keep spending money. That sounds fun, Nabiru. Ooh, that sounds kind of like a stinker there, Nabiru. Nice and helpful, but can be evil too. Uh-oh. Um, yes, but there's a world of difference between being competitive and being able to attend your local event. Does that make sense? Like, whenever new stuff drops, if you want to be competitive and be top tier, you have to spend money on the new stuff. You just have to keep shelling out money, and stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh gets so ridiculously expensive. Um, that's interesting, Nabiru. But in Yu-Gi-Oh, anybody can show up to their locals with a 40 card deck that's within regulation of the limited and restricted list, uh and play. Now, how good they're gonna do, that's a little bit rough. And also, like, I've heard horror stories about how with all of the negate heavy game has become, that it can be very frustrating, and like for kids to come in and try playing when they get hit with that 10 negate board, getting to almost to the verge of tears because they can't play the game. And like that's just heartbreaking. And as Yu-Gi-Oh gets more and more complex, it becomes less and less new player friendly, which makes it harder and harder for new players to get into the game, and that's not what you want for the health of the game. Yeah, exactly, Okusen. That's interesting, Nabiru. That would be an interesting setup. Well, there are a lot of cards that have specific effects if they're destroyed, or if they're destroyed by battle, or if they're sent to the graveyard, or like based on how they're sent to the graveyard. Like, for instance, I use Machina Fortress in my deck, which, if it's sent by battle, it gets to destroy a card on the opponent's field. Um, mhm. Ooh. Then you could come with an effect like that, with like an effect like that on the board. You could run Lightsworn Dark Worlds and just get all of their effects off. Mill them all. Hmm. Only the version from when Tag Force 2 came out. Okay. Only works in the graveyard. If a monster is killed by something stronger than the attack monster goes to the graveyard, not destroyed, not targeted, just sent. I got a really silly question there, Nabaru. How do you send the attacking monster without targeting it? Because normally anything that picks a single target targets it. Well, Dark Hole targets everything. Dark Hole hits everything in an area. But if it's only sending one target, that's weird. Like, I'm not saying your effect is bad. I'm saying that, like, because of how targeting effects work and the fact that, like, that is a specific, like, nuance of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, negating is always weird. The fact that if something is being targeted is this specific nuance of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is this interesting challenge. So it's a card that goes off as long as that card's in the graveyard. Hmm. I do remember those. But yeah, Okusen, I used to play at the level where all of those rulings mattered, and it's brutal. I consistently choked. Rather, I was at the bottom of the tier where those rulings mattered. Ooh, that's fun, Nabaru. Mm-hmm. Well, that thing you're describing, Nabaru, sounds like, doesn't that, weren't there like the kaiju monsters that they had for a while that like they didn't target, but you could summon them to your opponent's side of the field by tributing one monster on your opponent's side of the field, and they had like decently high attack, but I don't think they did anything else. So then you could use it to remove one of your opponent's like untargetable cards. You would just be like, no, you have a, 2500. Yes, you contribute the kaijus for other cards. Well, that was the balancing factor, because you would get rid of one of their key cards. Use kaijus to get rid of any untargetable things on the opponent's side of the field. But your thing gains 200 attack every turn, so it keeps getting stronger and stronger, but it decreases the attack of all their other monsters. So they've got one really big beat stick that they can't get rid of off their board. So it's like Lava Golem on crack. I didn't know that Kaiju had its own deck. I know that Kaiju gets splashed as essentially a hand trap into other decks to give them outs against some of the 10 negate boards. What, like Scrap Iron Scarecrow? You could really build a kaiju deck, just put kaijus into things. Like with my deck, I could have a fictional theme throughout. Yeah, I like theme decks too. I like machines, in case you didn't notice. I'm a machine duelist. You draw anything spellcaster themed, Okusen? That sounds interesting. Oh, you're still doing the blue mage thing, Silva? The blue mage thing or you're trying to? Okay. Waiting on a buddy to be ready. Oh no. You gotta ask Silva about that. Silent Magician deck on Master Duel. Blue mages learn abilities of monsters to do battle, such as Bomb's ability to self-destruct and do damage, or Cactuar's Thousand Needles ability. Okay. 843. those. Stand, step, adore all of the above. Silent Magician level 8. Okay. Come on. $235. 5 plus 8 is 3. Carry the 1. 13. Carry the 1. 3, 4, 5. I run it in. Nice buff power, nice negate, tribute. Any spellcaster summon if it dies, you get the level. Oh, that's cool. Dark Magician Girl, but there's plenty of other great mages. Fruit salad? So up to 23, 6, 53. All right. So let's wind down for the night. Apple, lemon, chocolate, magician girl. I also use a few witch casters to help it. They're magician girls named after fruits and food. Okay. We've had a pretty good night. Dark Magician Girl's friends. Ah. The Girl Squad. Ah. I see. I don't do much with magicians, but I'm going to take your word for it that they're all good cards. Oh, that's cool, Nabiru. Honestly, if you use, I believe it, berry, chocolate, dark magician girl, and kiwi, you can get an absolute broken combo. I also run one non-magician girl in my silent magician deck, Blizzard Princess, which I contribute a spellcaster to summon. This powerful girl that basically has a cold wave effect on summoning. Doesn't cold wave stop your opponent from playing spell cards? Hmm. Uh, so the reason why we're ending a little bit early tonight is because I'm tired. I was up till like 5 o'clock last night, and then even when I went to bed, I couldn't get to sleep because of some extenuating circumstances, and I didn't get to sleep till like 7 o'clock this morning. Then I got woken up at like 10:30, and I've only gotten like one nap in. If able, stretch your hips. Oh, stretching your hips is changing your life right now, Okusen. Oh, I mean, we're still winding down. We can still chat for a little bit. I'm not ending just this second. I was just letting you know. Ah, ask Okusen. How do you sweat your hips? That sounds horrific, Nabiru. I don't know. Like I said, we gotta ask Okusen. There's what what kind of joke is this claiming that there's qualified people on the internet? Everyone knows that everyone on the internet's an amateur. There's no such thing as an internet qualified person. He's forward and side lunges and something else that I don't know the name of. Excuse you, I'm an internet qualified idiot. Okay, Silva. That sounds gruesome, Nabiru. That sounds absolutely gruesome. That, ew, just the thought of tendons and veins rolling over your knuckles. Sounds like you crack like a glow stick, Silva. Stretching your groin with the soles of your feet together. Put one leg at a time, you're laid into it. We're all old farts. You'd break Nabiru? Hmm. Oh no, Kusen. How do you sleep, Nabiru? You sleep curled up like a cat? Or do you sleep by conforming to the size of whatever container you're in? In a recliner curled up. Okay. Oh no, Nabiru. Oh no. You have cat related pics? What are you talking about, Silva? Think you'd break rather than crack? Oh no. Like cracking a frozen glow stick, it just snaps in half. Actually, I've never cracked a frozen glow stick, but I just imagine it would snap in half. Pics of cats sleeping. Why do you have pictures of cats sleeping, Silva? You don't even have a cat. You have access to the internet, Silva? What is this black magic? Making me open up Facebook. I don't know where you sent me these pictures. Oh, Discord? I'm over here checking Facebook. These are some interesting pictures. You think these are how Nabiru sleeps? Okay. I'm just gonna turn on screen capture. Nabiru, are any of these similar to how you sleep? The first one's really accurate? Okay. What about this one? This makes me miss living in a house that had a cat. Too stretched, too much room? Okay. But just this one. So like this, but more curled up? Interesting. Very interesting. All right. So we had a pretty good night. I got 235 words done, got a lot of notes put together, stuff laid out, had some good chatting about card games, shared some embarrassing secrets about my past. I'd say overall, it was a pretty effective night. How about you all? What are you all feeling about this coming week? Always had enough room for bed, but I prefer couches, futons, chairs. Closest was an air mattress. I sleep on an air mattress now. Yeah, air mattresses are quite good. If you get one of the high quality ones, they can be really revolutionary. And if you get bugs, they're a lot easier to replace than a regular mattress. Ah, you want to finish one of the quizzes? It'd be nice to actually get one done fast. That sounds exciting, Nabaru. That does sound exciting. All right, well, we're just wrapping up, Silva, so it's right on time. Right on time. Everyone say good night to Silva. Anyway, I want to tell all of you, I know Autumn was here earlier, Okusen, Nabaru, Silva, anyone who was here lurking in the background, or any people who watch the VOD, I want to tell all of you that I love each and every one of you, and I believe in you. You all have infinite potential, and you are capable of doing great and wonderful things. You are precious, you are valuable, and you are important. Each one of you makes this world better just by being in it, and I am grateful to live in a world with each and every one of you. I want you always to remember the motto: shoot for the stars, have wonderful adventures, live your dreams, and always, always, always stop to enjoy the memes. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing, you can join my Discord or follow me on Twitter. Links to both of those are in the description below. And if you ever feel motivated to donate to improve the stream or improve my life, there's links where you can do that in the description below as well. I want you all to have a wonderful night and a wonderful week. Unless anything changes, the next stream should be Friday night. I'm hoping we can make this into a semi-regular thing, just doing every other Tuesday. We'll see how that goes. That might be the sweet spot, honestly, because trying to go from 2 to 3 streams a week has been rough, but doing 2.5 streams a week, that might be the sweet spot. I'm telling you, it might just be the sweet spot. We'll see. Anyway, good night, everybody.